This is the spot where I put the peonies. I haven't mulched the whole rest of this or cleared the weeds out, but I did want to mulch around the peonies so they have a chance, because right now it is the 1st of June and it is already hot in the garden. I worked out here a lot of the day yesterday, and I'm proud of the way the flowers are looking. I brought in some of these. I showed you the Stella Ora daylilies around the front light pole, and so I thought they'd be a nice complement to these red roses back here. So I bought some little Stella Ora daylilies. I cut that final one, the one that's looking a little sad, I cut it out of the ones that are planted around the light pole, and it's going to take a little while to perk back up, but I'm sure it'll be fine. These are very hardy, and they bloom from about the 1st of May all the way till frost. Now I want to show you something else back here. I think I showed you my granddaughter had bought me for Mother's Day a hydrangea, and I did take it out of the basket and I put it back here, and it doesn't look so nice, but when you plant or transplant a hydrangea, you're going to lose those pretty blooms that it comes with, but they'll come back. It'll be fine. It'll come back. I had also shown you once before that I planted a a Annabelle hydrangea. I don't know. It's that little twig right there beside the rock. I don't know if it's going to make it or not. And that's the thing about gardening. You want to try to get as many hardy plants as you can and save as many as you can, but sometimes they just die. And but the garden is looking good. I wanted to show you the widow's tears that we planted several episodes ago. They are finally coming up, and they have some little blooms on them, little tiny white blooms, as you can see right there. Those are the widow's tears, and I'm really kind of pleased with them. The blooms were a lot perkier this morning. I guess they bloom in the morning. I also wanted to show you all these plants back here that kind of look wild. These are 4 o'clocks, and we planted these a long time ago in the garden, and in the afternoon they get these little buds that they have on them open up, and I tell you, you just can't hardly kill them. They're very hardy. They come up all over the garden, but I'm trying to keep them in this main part here. I have some of my iron plant. It's looking kind of sad, but it's making new shoots, as you can see. This time of year, as long as you keep things watered, you're going to see a lot of growth because of the heavy-duty sunshine. So let's take a little tour around the garden. Last episode we planted some yarrow. I don't know, it's been a week. I'm not really seeing those take hold. That might not have worked out for us. The little rose of Sharon that I planted the other day has had multiple blooms. It's got a couple of blooms on it now. Pretty little rose of Sharon. It'll get bigger. My guara that I've been so happy with have kind of quit blooming. They've gone into a little bit of a dormancy. They'll come back again. The lilies are really blooming. I've got Asiatic and daylilies here. The Asiatic are the tall ones that are blooming right now. They're very pretty. I'm going to get closer so you can see them. These are Asiatic Asiatic lilies. These down here, the ones with the spent blooms, these are daylilies. And they do make these reblooming daylilies, and I think when I add next year to this area of the garden, I'll get the reblooming daylilies. Let's go around here. There's a coneflower and some coreopsis. The begonias are still doing well. The Shasta daisies are getting new blooms on them. You have to make sure when you get into the hot part of the summer that you give your garden enough water. Now, as I told you in the beginning, I have sand here, and so sand is great for plants. They love it, but you do have to watch and make sure you give them enough water. My little impatiens here are my little guides. As you can see right now, their little blooms are kind of flat facing. When they need water, they the blooms kind of curl up, and if you catch them before they curl up too much, then they don't die. So they're the ones, my little guide to when we need to water the garden. Also, you need to be careful about plants in pots. These fuchsia here have been here since the early spring. They're in a pot, so a pot isn't unable to let the roots go all the way down, so you have to be more careful of them perhaps than you would any other normal plant that's planted in the earth, because they need water more often. Also, hydrangeas. Hydrangeas, as the name implies, they need lots of water. And I've got these two mountain hydrangeas. I came out here yesterday after being at work all week, and their leaves were kind of withered. Their blossoms were looking kind of sad, so I knew to water. Let me give you an idea. As you can see right down here, these little impatiens here, you see some of them with the blooms kind of curled up. They need a little bit more water, so I'm going to make sure they get that this afternoon. Here, all these old impatiens, they look like they're okay. Their blooms are kind of healthy looking. So I have, this is the first week of June, as I said, and I'm just now getting some caladiums up here. I planted different colors in here. Not too showy yet, but those will bloom now. Caladiums cannot stand the winter, so if you like caladiums as I do, you have to replant those every year. They're not a perennial here in North Texas, Zone 8. Okay, let's go around here to these hydrangeas over here are looking really good. Want to give you a quick look at these. I've got to where I really like hydrangeas. See how pretty the blossoms are on here. And as I said in an earlier video, my soil is a little alkaline, and one of my neighbors has a lot of hydrangeas, and they all have blue blooms and pink. Hydrangeas that come in pink and blue will not keep their color unless the soil is suitable, and this soil is alkaline, so I would have had blue blooms this year if I hadn't put some lime in here next to these plants. So I've got the pink blooms. I'm happy about that. So the gardening is looking good, but it's going to be hot, and it'll be pretty to look at, not so much fun to work on. So this is another edition of Beginning Gardening with Nana.